Hello, beautiful people of the world. Welcome back to Cleopatra, where we talk about pretty girl logic. So, today we're going to talk about things I would never tell people because I've been scrolling my social media and trust believe people are oversharing like crazy. I had no idea humankind could overshare like this. Like right now, I know secrets about people that I should never have found out. My sweet innocent self has been lost because I know too much about strangers. And so I'm going to give you a list of my things I never tell people. And first, we start with my goals. I don't tell people my goals anymore because they're going to discourage me. They're going to sabotage me. Someone is going to talk ill because I know myself. I react very much to words, especially from loved ones. And so, if they discourage me any single bit, there's a high chance I'll end up giving up, okay? I am self aware enough to know that I would never tell anyone what I'm trying to do. For instance, this YouTube channel, the only people who know I have a YouTube channel is me. And the rest of y'all don't even know who I am, right? So, yeah, I'm trying to protect myself and still build something for myself and for my audience. And I don't need anyone trying to come into that and sabotaging it. So, same for you. Don't tell people your goals. They're going to sabotage you. Someone will make sure they go through the ends of the earth to make sure that you do not achieve what you have set out to achieve. People are crazy like that. Second thing I would never tell people is my struggles. People enjoy pretty people struggling, and I feel like this because of the pretty privilege term, because being pretty is power. So just by being pretty you are perceived to have a privilege, and so people are going to compete with you indirectly, and you struggling looks like they are winning. So people tend to gain self-esteem or momentum when they see that someone who they felt was superior to them is losing. It happens, and I refuse to be the source of inspiration to someone who enjoys watching me suffer. That thing I would never ever tell anyone is my trauma. People tend to weaponize this against you more often than not, and they may reopen wounds or repeat the trauma back to you to see if you've healed, or they'll test you. Or some people can use your trauma to bully you because they believe that it's your weakness. So, if by any chance you know the person you're telling your traumas is not your therapist, kindly note that you're setting yourself up to fail and to be betrayed, because trauma is a heavy burden to carry, and sharing it with someone who could manipulate you in the long run using that trauma, you are setting yourself up to be stabbed in the back. Number four of things I would never tell people, and this includes family, and by family I mean it includes my mother and father. I don't tell them my money or financial progress. What happens in my bank account is my business. How I spend my money is my business. You should not be out here telling people how much you're making. No one should know how much you're making. And especially for my black sisters, y'all know about black tax, right? When someone knows how much you have coming in and out of your pocket, they tend to pocket watch you. Oh, and do not forget the entitlement that these people have simply because they are family, simply because they're friends. No. I have seen siblings scam their own siblings, and people will use you. Oh, they will use you, and you'll wonder why you're not making a name for yourself. You can't build anything for yourself. It's because they know how much you're dealing per day, per month, and how much you spend, and so they can guilt trip you into giving them your money. Another thing I do not tell people is my insecurities. And if I ever feel like I need to contribute to a conversation regarding insecurities, I tend to lie. I'm going to pretend how I feel like my lips are too big. Baby, my lips are perfect, but I lie. I lie to save myself. Unless I'm asked, I lie. But if I'm not asked, I won't tell them. Okay? So when you tell people your insecurities, people tend to poke them. And I would advise you work on them quietly, show up confidently, and do not fish for compliments. I've seen a girl desperately trying to fish for compliments from me, telling me how she feels like she's too thin, yada yada yada. And I just looked at her and I knew that she had a bad relationship with food. And she and I had a fallout. And trust believe, she put me in a situation where I could use her insecurities against her, but I chose not to. I chose to be the bigger person and let it go. But imagine if someone who has ill intentions has the information regarding your insecurities and they have ill intent towards you. Baby girl, you're not safe. They will humble you using your insecurities. They'll poke at you. They will hurt your feelings because you told them your insecurities. So please, every single day, show up confidently. I'd rather someone sound surprised that I have insecurities than someone who's so used to seeing my insecurities that they do not understand the pain behind my insecurities. I'd rather be perceived as perfect. Because even with my small insecurities and flaws, to someone, I am more than perfect. And so are you. Something else I would never ever tell anyone. I think it's a toxic trait, but I don't care. Something I would never tell people is what they did wrong. I cut them off immediately. I ghost. I'm not scared of walking away because people know what they're doing, especially adults. And when you give them a chance to spin the story or gaslight you, or an audience, you're setting yourself up for emotional and mental manipulation. Because when they know why you're walking away, more often than not, they can twist stories and paint you out to be the villain. Yeah, so there's this girl I have mentioned, her name is Lulu, and she would do this weird, shady ass shit in front of me, in front of my eyes, and I never acted like I noticed what she was doing. I was acting all oblivious, okay? And she never noticed that I was actually paying attention. So the one time I decided to cut her off, I actually did not explain to her because I'm like, you know what you have been doing, and I'm not going to call you out because when I call you out and I cut you off, you have a story for your audience, and I have a story for my audience. You don't know what I'm telling the audience, but I know what you're going to be telling your audience, which is nothing because you have done too much bullshit to me that you do not really know which one made me tick to a point of cutting you off. And I feel like confrontation makes you exhausted and drained because when you're dealing with someone who sets out to hurt you or manipulate you in any shape or form, confrontation is dangerous. And so I'd rather cut you off and never tell you what you did wrong. Go figure it out in your crusty little dungeon of a bedroom. That was so personal, but I needed to say it. Another thing, and the last thing that I would never ever do or tell anyone is oversharing. I stopped. I realized my oversharing stemmed from a place of lack in terms of my childhood. I didn't really grow up with a sister, and I didn't really have the healthiest relationship with my mom. So when I was able to grow into friendships and, girl groups, I found myself willing to overshare information so as to not appear as too snobby, too mysterious, too distant, because I wanted to fit in with the group. But then when you overshare, people have ammunition against you, and people do need information to figure you out. And when they figure you out, they can manipulate you in so many ways. And I have grown up facing a lot of betrayal because of how much I overshared as I grew up, and because people tended to think that I was this pretty goody two shoes, they set out to come and befriend me and gather information about me. But nowadays, I overshare nonsense. I overshare how much I like the color red. Yeah, I overshare how much the sun was so hot my deodorant was not working, and so I asked them, what deodorant do you use? What deodorant would you recommend? And someone thinks I'm oversharing. So yeah, those are the things that I feel, if you ever told anyone, you're setting yourself up to a lot of harm, hurt, betrayal, and manipulation. Don't do it, girl. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Don't tell them. There are some things you should keep to yourself. And that's just my opinion. And I'm glad we were able to have this conversation. If you have any other thing you would never dare overshare, kindly comment down below. And if you have any personal stories from oversharing or lack of privacy, kindly share them on my email in the description below, and I might share your story time on my channel. We need to spread awareness as to how privacy is key. Privacy is protection. So stay fabulous, stay hot, stay Cleopatrick.